Grandma Carly, you done sat down in the shoes so long that you don't know what to do at all? Strange. Very strange.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop. This is season 8, episode 14. Carly Red is driving me nuts because I'm confused. I am completely confused. Carly Red is the queen of getting the mess started, maneuvering the mess, manipulating the mess, and now all of a sudden she's just stumped. I don't understand, but we're going to talk about it. Anyway, first things first, Rashida and Kirk, Scrappy and Bam, um, Stevie and Mimi, and all their kids were actually out. And they kind of just were kicking it around. And they really were focusing in on Rashida and Kirk and asking Rashida, are you going to talk to Jasmine? Are you going to open up the line of communication and kind of get this thing straightened out? And Rashida was like, you know what? I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. I ain't so sure, but I'm going to think about it. Hey, that's something, because up till now, Rashida ain't even wanted to talk about it. She's like, she has no use for Jasmine, which I understand. Mimi was actually sharing the fact that faith is the thing that makes everything work with her and Stevie and Eva. Because if she had to just deal with Stevie, it would be a whole issue because Stevie's a mess. So I was like, oh, yeah. That blended family thing it's a strange place to be in. Anyway, moving on. So we see Kendra and Jock actually go down to Shekinah's salon, and I was kind of wondering, Jock got a salon, so why are you over at Shekinah's? Come to find out, there's problems over there with Sharonda, which is his business partner, and Kendra just can't stand Sharonda. She just ain't got it to do. Jock actually takes some time out to ask Shekinah to go over to the salon, see how everything's going, and figure out what she could add because there's some problems with Sharonda. Sharonda don't get along with nobody. Stylists are walking out. They ain't making the money they should be making. Baby, when we went over to that salon and we looked at this salon, it was a mess. A mess. Folks sitting all around waiting. Ain't nobody working but Sharonda and a couple other folks, but definitely not enough folks to handle the clientele that they had. Girls just sitting around. Well, this is all just some bullshit because ain't nobody just sitting around in no salon like that. How do I know? Worked in a salon for years, but nobody just sitting around there like that. It was a mess. No receptionist. Sharonda immediately started getting all smart with Jock and all this kind of carrying on. I'm like, what the hell kind of shit is this? It was a mess. Before I get all the way into that, Jock had actually talked to Shekinah about the fact that he was really thinking about proposing to Kendra. And she was like, well, what are you waiting on? And why didn't you do it when we were away? Why don't you just do it then? And he's like, all this stuff about her not wanting kids and that. And I still ain't figured out. Jock, why do you want more babies? You have like 900 of them. Like, sit down. Anyway, so that's that whole thing. Sharonda and the way she talked to Jock like he wasn't shit. Get out of here trying to tell me what to do and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, what you doing ain't working. A salon with no receptionist is a nightmare. Like, how does that work? You need a receptionist if you don't have any other staff. You need a receptionist because you can't do hair and answer the phone effectively. Not in the salon. Now, if you somebody's doing hair in your kitchen, that's different. You can stand there in your kitchen with a cordless phone and do what you need to do, I guess. You know, but a salon with multiple stylists, you need a damn receptionist. I said, this is crazy. Y'all throwing money out the door. Anyway, and I could just imagine if it really was the way they had it looking, you would have no return clients. You might get these people all off of Jock's name and all that stuff, but you ain't getting no return clients. And I ain't coming back there for that crap. It was horrible. Anyway, so then we see Carly, Mimi, and Sierra. And they are talking about this whole thing with Pooh and the lie detector test. And yeah, we need to do that and get that over with. Then we found out that Mimi's girlfriend Ty is coming back in town, but Mimi's setting up her storyline. Things are actually strange between her and Ty. Okay, Mona, whatever. We ain't seen Ty. She been gone for 6 months. She been in Israel for 6 months. What problems do you have with a person that been gone for 6 months? How does that work? Foolishness. Anyway, Carly then actually in there states that she has dated Scrap De Leon in the past. Is there anybody that Scrap ain't fucked? Is there anybody? Is there anybody that Carly ain't fucked? That's the better question. Grandma Carly's slut child. They really make her look like a filthy tramp down to these streets. But anyway, so I said, okay. And she's like, I don't care nothing about Sierra dating Scrap. That's a mess. I don't want to be hanging around with no girl that's sleeping with nobody that I was messing with, and I don't want to be hanging around with no girl who done messed with my dude. That's just weird. That's strange to me. It's just too cavalier and too loose and real slutty. Like I don't know. I ain't looking. I've been side eyeing Sierra and Carly with that, and definitely side eyeing Scrap. Scrap's nasty. Scrap done been around. I wouldn't let him touch me at all. He's a cute little thing, but I'd be scared of him running in the opposite direction. Then we have this whole scene where BK shows back up on scene. Talking about he come to get his dog. But then in his confessional, he's saying he actually came to kind of get back with Sierra like he always does. Well, Sierra ain't going for it. Just have the two of them end up arguing in the doorway. Baby, you see my thumbnail. They got to going back and forth and carrying on. And she took him. The way he talked to her, he told her, all you do is jump from man to man and this, that, and the other. Because she did cheat on him. So, naturally, now he didn't cheat on her 11 times. She admitted to cheating on him one time, and it's a whole issue now. They going back and forth. He called her a fucking scumbag. I said, oh. And she took and mugged him in his face. I said, oh. I said, girl, that's a whole mess. Y'all don't need to be together. She mugging you in the face. You calling her scumbags and tramps and stuff. That is a recipe for disaster. You two don't need to be together at all. At all. Y'all need to wrap that up. That's ugly. That ain't good at all. Not at all. And I said, I know good and well. Really wanted to see the palms of Sierra's hand to see how much Beijing she had on her hand after she mugged him. Anyway, that's just me being shady. Moving on. So we finally see the scene where Shekinah goes down to the salon and Sharonda and Shekinah run into each other. And baby, I figured Sharonda would be like, what? You want to send some bitch to check out what I'm doing? And you know, it ain't like I work for you. We are business partners. And of course it went like that. They get to arguing. She telling Shekinah, you want to come help? You could go over there and answer the phone. Now I know good and well Sharonda knows who Shekinah is. And you know Shekinah is a business owner and a celebrity stylist. And you know good and well she ain't going to answer your goddamn phone. You playing games. And Shekinah was like, what? Shekinah, though, come in there and start like grabbing some people and trying to help them do their hair and stuff. And I was like, okay, all in the name of Jock being her friend. Honey, next thing I know, Sharonda told me, I'm out. She done went, well, she going to lunch. She left the salon and goes to lunch. And then told Chicago, we don't need no receptionist, this, that thing, and the other. It was a whole mess. Uh, Sharonda ended up calling Jock. Jock was on some excursion in the woods with the fellas, and they get to going back and forth. She's cussing him out over the phone, yelling and screaming. And the guys are asking him. It was Stevie and Scrappy and Scrap and um, Kirk. They're saying to Jock, you hitting that or something? Because the way she carrying on sound like you've been banging on her. No, 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 no. Then Shekinah gets done. Her and Sharonda get talking, and they actually ended the day on a higher note. They were cool. They kind of talk like women and business owners. But Shekinah was like, "What's going on? What is really going on?" Because the way that you and Jock interact, it's like something's going on. And then Sharonda started blabbing, and she was saying how Jock comes in and how he flirts with the women and he's trying to mess around with the women. She don't feel like that's the way to act when he actually has Kendra and this, that, thing. I said, okay, girl, I'm hearing what you're saying and all of that, but it sounded to me like Jock been grinding on you too, honey. Sound like a little bit of jealousy going on. I said, and who's really getting off on Jock like that? Now I'll give Jock this. He has lost weight since when he first got on the show. Now he has lost weight and he's working out and that, and his body is looking really. His body looks nice. Jock that pulled his little body together. I said, look at his little chest and stuff. But I seen and I saw, and I don't care how many muscles he got, child. No, thank you. I'm gonna pass. And he got like 50-11 babies by 60-11 women. Mm-mm. Mm-mm, Jock. So I don't put nothing past him at all. So I'm sure we're going to hear some more about that in the future. Let's move on. Jasmine and Rashida finally have this meetup. And I looked and I said, okay. Jasmine basically was asking Rashida, like, I feel like you attacked my parenting. You asking about Cannon being in Pampers and all of this, and him being in pull ups and on and on and on. And Rashida's like, girl, it's just questions in general. Maybe I shouldn't have said it, but whatever. It's questions in general. Then she gets around. She says that Kirk basically makes you the bad guy. Whenever some shit is going down and some shit ain't adding up, he always makes you out to be the bad guy. And I picked up on Jasmine's crazy. She's out of her mind. And I guess a lot of it is she's young. She wants access to Rashida. And she always has. She wants access to Rashida. She was in such her glory, standing there talking to Rashida. Honey, Rashida's not no mentor to you. Rashida's not no fairy godmother to you. You fucked her husband. And not only did you fuck her husband, you jumped up and had a baby. You don't get access to her. And I was looking at her, I was like, girl, run for the hills, Rashida, because she's giving single black female, honey. Weird. Absolutely weird. Last thing. We see Mo and Carly. They done went down because Carly had told them earlier about her and Mo, and that Mo is kind of like very controlling and this kind of thing. And Mimi referred her to Dr. Jeff. So they go see old sad ass Dr. Jeff. And in the midst of it, Mo was downplaying his behavior. And from what I'm seeing, it looks like he's a little verbally abusive. And I don't know what else. It seemed like he might be a good ass whooper too. But I didn't even realize until he got up. He was downplaying his behaviors, right? And then that damn Carly is sitting there like, is he serious? And then she throws up. I said, oh, girl. Now, wait a minute, Miss Carly. The bitch that you've been since we've met you, you mean to tell me that now you with somebody that you can't keep it together, that he's upsetting you and you have such anxiety that you're throwing up? Where'd this Carly come from? Because this ain't the little old lady in the shoe that I'm used to watching. Now all of a sudden you don't know what to do. But I looked at him and he stood up. I didn't realize that Mo was that big. I said, "Oh, Mo." I told y'all, as the more we see him, the more visually, yeah, he all right visually. But I didn't realize he was that big. He's big. He like all tall and stuff. I said, oh, okay. But he got bad attitude. Looked like an ass whooper if you ask me. But anyway, he took his ring off and left it and walked out. And we ended out where Dr. Jeff was telling Carly, you have to put yourself first and love yourself and honor yourself. You may have to get up and walk away from this. He didn't walk out on you and everything else. Y'all ain't even married yet. I said, yeah, that Mo ain't making for a good boyfriend, but damn, he's nice to look at. Anyway, but that's it. We're done. We'll be back next week. Next week looks really good. It really does. Next week looks like it's going to be really good. So I'll catch y'all back here. All right, later.